The biggest wealth shift in our lifetime is happening now, and nobody is talking about it. I'm talking about a wealth shift from the old to the young, from the rich to the poor, from traditionalists to the tech savvy, from the closed-minded to the open-minded. See, smart money has been and continues to be accumulating Bitcoin in secret, while the mainstream media, for the most part, covers for them and remains eerily quiet. This is one of the only stations who sometimes talks about it. I'm talking about CNBC. Watch how CNBC talks about Bitcoin now. Pay very close attention to what they say at the end of this clip.
Yes, I think the crypto rally is here to stay. I don't think it's perfectly linear. I was sort of surprised during the day. I saw it up a few hundred. And, we talked a lot about institutional investors having an interest. I called BK, said, hey, BK, what's up? By then, it was up maybe 1,000. And he said, yeah, the institutional interest is just exploding. And then he mentioned to me that Scaramucci at Skybridge is actually starting a Bitcoin and other alternative fund. So if institutional investors now feel like the Good Housekeeping seal of approval is on it with Paul Tudor Jones and Druckenmiller and Novogratz and others. So I'm staying long Bitcoin.
All right, Dan, Nathan, what about you crypto wise? We know what you feel, but is this rally sustainable?
It's funny, back to BK, Brian Kelly, he and I had a chat about it recently too. He showed me a log chart, a 5-year of Bitcoin. You look at that thing and it looks like it's about to absolutely explode. We know a lot of traders in the space look at the technicals. And I just mentioned this, is that it's not just Bitcoin. There's a lot of other cryptos that combined have gained the market cap of Bitcoin in the last 6 months.
Very interesting. Did you catch that? Did you catch what they were implying at the end? And they've actually implied this quite a few times as of late. The rhetoric that CNBC has around Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is only going to get bolder as this bull market develops. And they seem very open to Bitcoin and very open to speculate on digital currencies and assets in general. And again, put this in perspective. When Bitcoin was around $16,000, $17,000, $18,000 just 3 years ago, the exact same price levels, everybody was talking about it. Today, barely anybody. I'm not getting texts from friends. I'm not getting Uber drivers talking to me about Firecoin. I'm not getting any of that, guys. Bitcoin will be over all-time highs by Christmas. Prepare yourself for that. This is going to get much bigger. This is going to get much faster. And that's not me speculating on the price of Bitcoin. That's macro investor Preston Pish on Swan Bitcoin's YouTube channel talking about Bitcoin being above all-time highs by Christmas. Watch this, and then we'll discuss.
You should be making a new all-time high around that time frame is Christmas of 2020. And so if that's true, that means we've got 80-90% upside from here, which is insane, right? Because there's not that many more months between now and Christmas. So to think that much of a jump could occur between now and then is going to be a dramatic narrative that I think very few are ready for. It's gonna create a marketing buzz in financial news, and then you combine that with the backdrop of all this printing. And I don't care who you are in the market right now. You could know nothing about finance. You could be the world's worst financial student, and you know what's on that person's mind right now? They're walking around and they're saying, they just can't keep printing money like this, can they? That's what they're telling themselves. And they don't know anything, but they're asking themselves that question. And I think that when you got people asking that kind of question, you have something that's been around for more than a decade. You have something that has done over 200% on the year, or whatever it is. It's going to attract a lot of interest. It's going to attract a lot of discussion, and it's marketing that you just can't even, if you had to put a dollar figure on how much marketing that would cost on a global scale to put out that much discussion, dude, you can't even imagine what the price would be.
You heard it here. Preston Pish called all-time high by Christmas time.
If you subscribe to this channel, you are already a part of this wealth shift. You probably already have a large Bitcoin position, so commend yourself. I mean, the fact is, one more month at this rate and the amount of Bitcoin available on exchanges will drop below where it was at the peak of the last bull run. This is amazing. Guys, if you are waiting for the dip, there might not be one. I'm going to go over 4 arguments as to why this bull run is fundamentally different from 2017. And I'm going to show you 9 Bitcoin charts already at all-time highs. First, a 60-second message regarding our sponsor. Let's talk about BlockFi. BlockFi has just signed on to be a long-term sponsor with Altcoin Daily, and we couldn't be prouder. I like BlockFi. BlockFi is legit. They're easy to use. They take security seriously. If you don't know, BlockFi is traditional banking for cryptocurrency. They build traditional financial service products for crypto investors, including high-yield interest accounts, USD loans, no-fee trading. For a limited time, you can earn a crypto bonus of $25 when you open a new account. Start earning today. Link in the description, blockfi.com/altcoin daily. High yield, no minimum, no lockups. You can earn up to 8.6 APY at BlockFi. If you have cryptocurrency just sitting around, not earning anything, why not take a portion and have it earn interest for you? Again, BlockFi is traditional banking for cryptocurrency investors. For a limited time, $25 bonus when you open up a new account using the link in the description. Start earning today. BlockFi.com/altcoin daily. So let's finish up this video with perhaps the most interesting part. If you're waiting for a dip, there might not be one. And my takeaway from that is not that Bitcoin won't dip, but if you're thinking that Bitcoin's going to run up to $20,000, then just fall like it did 3 years ago, things are fundamentally different. Before we get to this, let me quickly just list 9 Bitcoin charts already at all-time highs. We won't even list them all, but just so you know what's going on, because we go over this stuff. Addresses with a balance of $10 or more, all-time highs. Open interest on the CME Bitcoin futures, all-time highs. Realized cap is at all-time highs. Bitcoin options open interest, all-time highs. Bitcoin priced in Turkish lira, all-time highs. Bitcoin held by Grayscale, all-time highs. You get it. Even Bitcoin's market cap today is bigger than it's ever been, even though the price has still not reached all-time highs. Growth of crypto native credit. I mean, it's just basically talking about the whole industry. They conclude, to sum up, today's market is far more mature, more financialized, more surveilled, more orderly, more restrained, less reflexive, more capital efficient, and more liquid than the market that powered the prior bull run in 2017. I did not even mention the rise of true institutional caliber custodians like Fidelity Digital Assets, a potent development in the history of the industry. Ultimately, all this infrastructure, even though it's 100x'd, it's not sufficient to, it's not a sufficient catalyst to spark excitement around Bitcoin. That's got to come from something else, even though the plumbing has 100x'd. But with the macro backdrop of the Fed printing and the coronavirus and all this stuff going on, the Bitcoin's potential has never been clearer. So if you're waiting for a dip, there might not be one anytime soon for these 4 reasons. A bunch of institutions buying into Bitcoin are not weak hands. They're trading their trash cash for a real asset that's going to hold value. So their institutions buying in aren't looking to sell anytime soon. Guys like Fidelity and Grayscale scooping up Bitcoin by the hour. They're not just preparing for a successful year. They're preparing for a successful decade. They want to lead the way. Guys like PayPal, Robinhood are held by law to purchase Bitcoin for their clients rather than offer an equity paper. So again, going to be taking in some of Bitcoin's supply, which has never been lower. Scarcity of Bitcoin is still not understood. It appears to me that there will always be a buyer once institutions have arrived. Anybody who's selling their Bitcoin for cash doesn't yet understand wealth. Bitcoin as collateral offers both the ability to continue hodling, get trash cash for any expenses, not pay capital gains tax, and the collateral value simply grows continuously. Finally, I'll leave you with this. Bitcoin is a monetary network that gets stronger as more individuals and corporations adopt it to protect their treasury reserves. The fire in cyberspace is spreading. And when we see Mexican billionaire, I believe somebody said he's the third richest man in the world or the third richest man in North America or something, he's just revealed that 10% of his liquid assets are in Bitcoin. Somebody was saying 10% of the third richest, man's assets is over $1 billion in Bitcoin, but if not, hundreds of millions for sure, combined with a 29 billion asset advisory is now giving wealth managers and clients a Bitcoin on-ramp. 29 billion in assets will now offer Bitcoin. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. There are 46.8 million millionaires in the world. There are only 21 million Bitcoin. Less than half will ever be able to own one Bitcoin. Do not miss the Bitcoin revolution. We'll talk about this more in future videos. I am also bullish on Ethereum this cycle. I think there's going to be tons of token speculation. I am interested in using alts to trade more Bitcoin, and the fact is alts are going to get more gains. You do you. That's what I'm doing. This is an exciting time to be in Bitcoin. See you tomorrow.